Some players arrive in the big leagues with hype. Others, they redefine what hype means. He's a five-tool player, one of the greatest talents we've ever seen. Mike Trout is the future of baseball. Drafted 25th overall in 2009, it didn't take long for the baseball world to realize that the Angels had something special. He wasn't just good, he was historic. In his first full season, Trout hit .326 with 30 home runs, 49 stolen bases, and 129 runs scored. An MVP-worthy season, if not for some guy named Miguel Cabrera winning the Triple Crown. By 2024, Trout claimed his first MVP award, the first of 3. But as the accolades stacked up, something was missing. With every monstrous home run, with every dazzling catch, with every jaw-dropping stat line, one question began to loom larger. Could he ever win a World Series? Trout has played just 3 postseason games in his career. 3. That's fewer than some journeymen in MLB, fewer than some rookies that happen to land on the right team. One of the greatest players of all time stuck in mediocrity. Year after year, wasted potential, wasted greatness. And now the question isn't just when will Trout get his shot, it's if he ever will. Because in the end, baseball history is written in October, and for all of his greatness, Mike Trout's October chapter is still waiting to be written. So how do we fix this? How do we take a team that has wasted generational talent and turn it into a dynasty? Welcome to the rebuild. This isn't just about making a few trades, it's about fundamentally changing the identity of the Angels franchise. Our goals? Build and sustain the best farm system in baseball, develop homegrown all-stars, and of course, bring a World Series or 2 to Anaheim. But we're on the clock. Mike Trout isn't getting any younger. The ideal scenario? Winning before he retires, giving one of baseball's all-time greats the championship he deserves. Even if we don't win before Trout hangs up his cleats, this rebuild will be a success if we create a sustainable contender. One that isn't reliant on aging free agents or short-term fixes, but built for long-term dominance. The work starts now. The foundation needs to be rebuilt from the ground up. The Angels have spent years looking for quick solutions. Now it's time for something different, something lasting. The road ahead won't be easy. There will be setbacks, but in the end, the mission is clear. Bring championship baseball back to Anaheim. The rebuild starts now. Welcome to the Angels rebuild. I'm super stoked to get this series started. We're going to move a little quicker than we did through the Pirates franchise. We're gonna make this a lot about the prospects, the drafting process, growing a homegrown team around Mike Trout. Looking at the depth chart, this is one of my favorite views to look at. Mike Trout in right field. I'm not sold if I'm gonna keep him there. We have Jorge Soler as a DH, but I would like to get Trout off the field and only batting to hopefully improve his health situation. That might be one of the first moves we do. We got to figure out if Soler can be serviceable in right field, and we're going to take a little dive into his statistics and see how he is in defense. I just don't want to risk Trout's health by having him in the field. A couple other positions that I feel like we're probably pretty good on is Zach Neto. 24 years old, B potential, 84 overall already. But the upside for Neto is pretty good, so he might be the player that we build around. There's a few actually on the team. The other one's one of my favorite players in baseball, Logan O'Hoppe. 25 years old, 79 overall, B potential. I'm kind of interested to see how high that B potential is, so I might dive in and take a look later on. He's definitely one of the other young players that we're building this team around. The entire pitching staff, we only have 2 players above 80 overall, and really we only have a handful. We have, what, 4 on this chart showing above 80 overall? We got some work to do. Yusei Kikuchi, 83 overall, 33 years old. Contract, we have him for 3 more years through 2027. Not sure if he's going to be around when we start winning games. Jose Soriano, 26 years old, C potential, 80 overall already. Couple years of experience. Looks like 22 games last year. In 2023, pitched 38 games. Decent ERA, I don't mind that for a starting pitcher. He's 26 years old, and we have him through 2028. 25-year-old Reed Detmers is a 73 overall left-handed pitcher. It's nice to have a lefty in the rotation. As long as Kikuchi's a lefty as well, we just didn't mention that. There's also the right-hander, 35-year-old Kyle Hendricks. His contract is up after this year. It is a favorable contract for us, only $2.5 million. We'll see if he can just help us bridge the gap until we get some better starting pitchers. Jack Kohanowitz. Let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but velocity a 99, break a 96. He's a D potential, and he's a 71, so I don't know how that's going to work out, but the velocity and breaks looking pretty awesome with a sinker, 12-6 curveball, 4-seam, and a circle change. Velocity at 99, but he only tops out at 98. Interesting. But we do have control of him through 2030, so that D potential is probably going to hold him back, but we'll find out. 23-year-old Nolan Schanuel, a first baseman, 69 overall with B potential. He's still got some years to develop. This will be another one that we're keeping an eye on. There's some building blocks, but we got to get the rest of the roster going. Mostly the weakness is going to be pitching right now, it does seem. Third base as well. 29-year-old Yoan Moncada, C potential, 71 overall. Pretty decent contact. We'll see. Again, these players, I don't know how long they're going to last, but contract with him is just this year, and he hits free agency, so we have a hole at third base. We also have Kevin Newman that can play second base, third base, and shortstop. He'll be our platoon player for at least 1 year. We have a $2.8 million contract on him just for 2025. Mentioned Jorge Soler a little bit already. He's a B potential, 76 overall. He's 33 years old. He's got some good power. He's an ideal DH, so that is the first decision I'm going to have to make. Looking at his fielding here, probably should lean towards Trout being in the field instead of Soler. He's a traditional DH at this point. But Soler does have some accolades here. You know, he was the World Series MVP in 2021, home run champion in 2019, and he was also part of that Pittsburgh Pirates rebuild we did last season. Kenley Jansen, 37 years old at this point, 76 overall. His best days are well behind him at this point. Another contract that expires at the end of this year. Got our work cut out for us. Hey, jumping to 2029 in this depth chart view, we can see it shows Trout all the way down to an 88 as his projection and no one at catcher. We have some things to figure out, and you can see this team does not look to improve with the current talent at hand. Even if we go back to 2028, you know, we still have just those 3 players that really stand out in Mike Trout, Zach Neto, and Logan O'Hoppe. I absolutely love that Anthony Rendon is only a 62 overall, and he's injured. Would have been in previous years a trading piece when we're rebuilding the Angels. I'm going to respect his no trade clause. We're going to have to deal with the fact that he's locked in to $30+ million when we're spending basically $70 million on him in the first 2 years, and he's not going to see the field. Even when he's healthy, he will not be on the Major League roster on our rebuild. And looking at the overall roster, we have it sorted by potential. We have Mike Trout and Jansen as our only A potentials on this team. Both of them are, you know, on their decline at this point. Tyler Anderson's another 35-year-old with high potential on the team. It doesn't really get down until Neto here, where we see him at 24 and a B potential. Suarez here as a relief pitcher is 27. His overall's a 53. Man, he's fell off in the last few years. It matches his statistics. Oh boy. Logan O'Hoppe, 79 overall, B potential. Ooh, yeah, I want to see it now. I want to see. It is a high B at 87 overall. Very nice. A good amount of B potential. So as we start really evaluating this roster, we might find out that there are a few more players that are serviceable or are going to be serviceable. For example, Christian Moore, who is a second baseman, 22 years old in AAA. Let's see what his overall potential is. 82, that's not terrible. So we'll learn, we'll be patient this first year. We're not gonna make a ton of trades. We're gonna try to build this team naturally, and some of the good things are the way we have our contracts set up. There's a couple terrible ones, but for the most part, long-term, we've got some flexibility. So looking at the breakdown of the roster here and the budget screen, it's pretty favorable when we come over here and we see that we really only have 3 players locked in 2027 when it comes to long-term contracts. As we scroll down here, we're going to have a ton of players that we have control of with arbitration, renewals. We have their rights for a while, but when it comes to actual contributing players at this point, there's not a lot locked in. You know, just looking at 2026, we have 6 players that are signed up for a long-term contract, and they're all in their 30s. So it's favorable, and we get these older players out of the roster. We start building the young team. It's going to be a long process. This $35 million is going to hurt us, but with the budget that we have with the Angels, we can handle one contract that's this high. And even Kikuchi's contract doesn't really affect us too much. If you're new to this series, we simulate a lot of games in these. It's pretty much a sim playthrough where we jump into a handful of games. We'll do some player locks. We will do some situations, some late game situations, and we'll do some full games here and there as well. But the majority of this series is going to be about the actual players and their player ratings and how they're playing on the field and performing, not necessarily how I can play MLB The Show. In this first season, we're going to leave the 40-man roster alone as is, and we're gonna jump into spring training. We're gonna get that all simulated. We're gonna take a look at the stats of the players and make some roster moves based on how they performed in the spring. Then our first injury of the playthrough is Shanuel. He's got a broken shin. Ouch. He'll be out 1 to 2 months. So we'll put him on the 60-day. We're gonna go ahead and during spring auto fix these lineups. And just so it doesn't jump ahead to the regular season, we have stopped on the 24th of March. We're gonna take a look at some of these statistics, and I will let you know anything that really jumps out that we need to pay attention to. And throughout the spring, Trout is batting .355, 10 RBIs, 3 home runs. We have Christian Moore here, who is a rookie second baseman, 62 overall, B potential. He's batting .350, only 20 at bats, so I'm gonna probably put him in the, well, we skipped through a lot. Would like to have gotten him in the lineup a little bit more. Bryce Theodosio, center fielder, 25 years old, D potential, only 22 at bats, but he's batting above 300 in the spring. Neto's on fire, 317, 82 at bats. I think we have a solid shortstop. Newman's over 300. Lugo, 58 overall, C potential, 23 years old. Man, are these like lower overalls gonna perform a little bit better in this version of the game? Only 7 at bats though, that's a small sample size. Tyler Ward here, left fielder, 275, not bad at all. 17 RBIs, gotta love that. Ohapi, 270, 7 RBIs, 2 home runs in the spring. Nobody else really jumped out at us. Would have liked to see Nolan get some more at bats, and hoping we can get him back early in the season, because I would prefer to play him at first base and potentially throw Noda out in right field. Jorge Soler, where are you at on this board? When we sort by batting average, we have to go all the way down. 67 at bats, 119, no home runs in the spring. Just a bad contract for us right now, $14 million, but it's only for 2 years. We'll see how he performs in the regular season. We'll give him a little bit of a shot. You know, one of the long-term upcoming prospects here was Joe Adele here, and he just has never really turned into anything serviceable in Major League Baseball. I don't know if that'll be that way in this playthrough, but B potential still and only 25. It might work out still, who knows? Now we're gonna go ahead and walk through this and work on setting up what we want for our rotation. We're gonna basically set our 26-man roster up next. With the 40-man roster full, there are some players like Victor Gonzalez that I would like to sneak onto the 40-man roster, so we're gonna potentially make our first move here. I'm gonna just sort by overall and hop to the bottom. I mean, a C potential 27-year-old right-handed pitcher that has only had 12 games in Major League. Not terrible here. Ryan, I just don't know if we want to move on from him yet. I'm going to try to find some players that just kind of makes sense to bail on, really. And the reason why we would need to bail on them is we could potentially lose them when we put them through waivers right now. And this 30-year-old Chucky Robinson, I think, is who we're going to try to, you know, sneak. We're going to try to sneak him through waivers to free up that spot to get Victor Gonzalez on the 40-man roster. So we do have McDaniels here that appears that he's a Rule 5 player, so we have to keep him on the 26-man roster. So it won't even let us, you know, send him back to the old team, it looks like. Suarez is the next decision we're going to make. 27 B potential, 53 overall. His numbers have been terrible, but we got to see if we can sneak him through waivers as well. And those of you that are new to MLB The Show, we're looking at his minor league options here. He had 3 already, so when we moved him to either AAA or if we moved him off the 40-man roster, he would have to go through waivers to stay on our team. No matter what, I believe if you move someone off the 40-man roster, they go through waivers, even if they have options. Otherwise, you keep them on the 40-man, you just move them down, you use one of their options, and you can maybe next year bring them back up. Luis Rengifo is going to be our leadoff batter to start out the season. Moncada will be batting second. Trout, we're going to keep him. Well, this is the decisions have to be made. And with Mike Trout's going to start the year in right field. Jorge Soler, it's so tough. It's so tough. Like, who do we go with? Like, I would rather see Newman get some at-bats, but gosh, we'll give him a shot. We're gonna give Jorge Soler a shot at DH and pretty much just leave the lineup the way it was, you know, set up to begin the game. We'll start making adjustments as we get into real games and see how we feel about the team. Super worried about this pitching rotation. Kikuchi will start as our ace. Soriano will be our second pitcher. Detmers, Hendricks, and then Anderson. And the relievers here, you can see the way we have it set up. Not a lot to be excited about. Gotta be honest. And we will get into the AAA and AA teams when the time comes. Let's get to the regular season. But before we jump into it, I did want to take a look at our existing top 20 in the organization when it comes to prospects. Dana here, a 21-year-old starting pitcher. We'll see how he develops, only see potential. He's our #1 prospect right now. Christian Moore at second base. We talked about him a little bit. We'll see. He might end up being a little bit better, but I think the overalls of the starting pitchers are gonna be, they can be in the C's and be serviceable. So just not a lot to really talk about in here until we see some of these players start developing. Some of these lower potential players could become serviceable in this type of playthrough. We're not gonna go heavy into spending a ton of money in free agency until we really have a chance at a championship. So yeah, just not a lot to be super excited about. And when we look at the overall top 100, it'll be interesting to see if we have anyone in the top 100 prospects. All the way down at number 80, we do see Dana. I believe that is our only player, and that's one of the reasons why this is an attractive rebuild. Excited to see it happen. But looking at the budget, we're there. We don't have a lot of money to spend. We're not going to be spending money this year anyways. We're not going to put anyone on the trading block, at least to begin with. And scouting should open up here for us in a couple days. It's finally here, opening day baseball. The Los Angeles Angels take the field, ready to kick off the season with a bang. On the mound, it's Kikuchi, looking to set the tone against a tough White Sox lineup. But on the other side, Wilson is locked in for Chicago, aiming to spoil the party. Baseball is back, and it starts right now. And starting out the game for the Angels, Rengifo with a fly ball to first baseman Vaughn, one away. That brings up Moncada, who works the count full as well and takes a pitch outside. We got a runner on first and one out. Mike Trout's up with a 2-2 count, but he goes down swinging at a sinker. Two away in the top of the first. That brings up Jorge Soler, 1-1 count. Runner at first, 2 outs here. Top of the first inning. And well, you talk bad about somebody in the intro and see that they're struggling in spring, but we decided to give him a shot. First at bat, he makes it 2-0. Angels. And it's time for Kikuchi to take the mound. 32 starts last season, 9-10 record, and a 4.05 ERA. We'd like to see him improve on that ERA number. It's going to be a good journey here. We'll see if we've got an ace in hand. Josh Rojas to lead off, and here's the first pitch from Kikuchi. Outside corner, strike one. And on a 1-2 pitch, Rojas goes down swinging, one away. Zach Neto, the Angels' electrifying shortstop. He's got some slick defense, a quick bat, high energy player, former first-round pick. He's going to be key to this team's future. I really hope he is. Here's a 1-0 count. Looks at it outside. The 1-1 pitch, right down the middle. That one's going to leave the yard as well. It's 3-0 Angels. We get our first look at Ryan Noda here with a line drive to center field. It's a good shot, but Michael A. Taylor with a better play on it. Diving catch in center field. We remember him for the first year with the Pittsburgh Pirates rebuild. Michael A. Taylor, beautiful play in center field. Leaves his feet, extends his arms, brings it in. Taylor Ward's up here with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the top of the third. We have a new pitcher in the game for the White Sox, but it's a ground ball to the shortstop. That will retire the side. 3-0 Angels. Jumping to the bottom of the fourth, Tauchman at bat. There's a fly ball to right field, and Trout just gets it. That's his first play in right field. Way to go, Trout. In the top of the fifth, 2 outs. Mike Trout up to bat against Eater. Fastball down the middle. Trout gets all of it. That one's gone. 4-0 Angels. And through 5 innings, we get to see how the 2 starters are faring. We have 5 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts for Kikuchi, and 2 2/3 and 3 runs given up by Wilson. We're in the bottom of the 6th, 4-0 still. 32 count to Roberts. Fly ball to left field. This is the first real opportunity the White Sox had to score. And we're looking to get out of the jam. There's now 2 away. And that brings up Sosa with a 1-0 count. Fly ball to left field as well. Ward is back. That'll retire the side. We'll go to the 7th, 4-0 Angels. And here in the 7th inning, it was time for Moncada to join the party.
That's a 2-run shot opposite field to right field there. 389 feet. First home run of the year for him. It is now 6-0 Los Angeles. Still in the 7th inning, O'Hoppe has a chance here. 2 outs, 2 on. Line drive to center field. That one's going to get down. That's going to score a run. That'll put runners at first and third with 2 outs. 7-0 Angels. And the hot 7th inning continues with Taylor Ward's shot to left field. That's going to score a run. That'll put runners at second and third with 2 outs. The Angels elect to keep Kikuchi in the game to start the bottom of the 7th with a shutout going. 81 pitches to this point. Starting to get a little worn out. Having a little harder time locating his pitches where he wants to. But we're going to give him a shot to at least finish the 7th inning. And the count's 0-2 and a fly ball to right field. A little lazy fly ball that Trout misplays. Is that him being new to right field? Wasn't able to get the right angle there, but doesn't lead to a triple. Luckily, Vaughn's not too fast. No outs, runner at second. And an 0-2 count to Michael A. Taylor. Ground ball to Neto. His only place first base due to the misplay by Trout in right field. We got a runner at third, 1 out. And a 3-1 pitch to the White Sox shortstop Montgomery. That's a nice base hit down the left field line. Ward's going to get to it, but 1 run does score, ending the shutout and ending Kikuchi's day. Gonzalez is going to come into the game and try to close down this little rally that the White Sox have going. We're still leading by 7 runs. I think he'll be able to handle it. The 0-1 pitch to Lee. Fly ball to Trout. He's going to have to run back. I think he'll be able to play this one. 2 away. That brings up the top of the lineup for the White Sox. Ground ball to Moncada. He'll throw it over to first base. We're through 7. 8-1 Los Angeles. And we're jumping all the way to the bottom of the 9th with Kenley Jansen on the mound. We're going to give him an opportunity to pitch, even though it's not a save opportunity. Michael A. Taylor up the middle. Not going to be able to make the play at second base. But a nice throw from center field is going to cut down Vaughn. He was sleeping at third base. He didn't jump right away. He waited to see if the ball got through the infield, and he pays for it. 1 away. Montgomery up here with 1 out, 1-0 count. Ground ball to third base. To second. To first. 5-4-3 double play to end the game. Angels win. Solid debut for the Los Angeles Angels. We have Trout, Soler with 3 hits each. Also a home run for both of them. 4 long balls for the Angels. 8-2 win over the White Sox. Kikuchi with a solid 6 1/3 innings. 6 hits given up, 1 run, 1 earned run. 8 strikeouts. And the second game of the series, the Angels start 2-0 with an 11-3 win. Taylor Ward looks like the hot bat in this game with 3 hits and 2 RBIs. Mike Trout with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Another home run for Trout and another home run for Neto. And let's not miss this. It was 5 RBIs for Zach in this game. Wonder if it was a grand slam. Soriano goes 6 innings, gives up 5 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Solid outing for him. And finishing off the series against the White Sox with a sweep with a 9-8 victory on Sunday. And looking at the box score here, we got another 2-hit game for Trout, 2-hit game for Soler, Neto with another hit, Ward with another hit, and Detmers goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs given up, and 4 strikeouts. Got to see a lot of the bullpen here. Jansen gave up 2 runs, blown save, his first blown save of the year. We will definitely keep an eye on that. And we can see here we did score 2 runs in the 9th inning as well as give up 2 runs in the 9th inning, but then scoring a run in the top of the 10th to secure the sweep. And Victor Gonzalez went ahead and got the win in the bottom of the 10th. We have some early trades going on here. The Diamondbacks acquire Flaherty from the Tigers, giving up Justin Martinez, the young closer who started coming onto the scene last year, was a little inconsistent, but this is a move that just doesn't make sense to me. The Diamondbacks do not need starting pitching. They need to secure the bullpen. So as a Diamondbacks fan, I would very much be very annoyed with this trade. But this insane start to the season for the Angels, it's not gonna last. It might. We ended up taking all 3 against the Cardinals. We're 6 games into the year and we're 6-0 with 5 of them being simulated. What a start. And the losing begins. We dropped the first 2 against the Guardians. We are now 6-2 to start the year. It's time to get a little bit into scouting, and we'll dive way more into this as we get closer to the draft. But the things we want to really talk about right now are the positions we just need to focus on. Starting pitching, relief pitching, And I personally, I want to start focusing on getting a long-term center fielder. Dude, you're telling me we've just called up, I gotta look at why this happened, but is our AA affiliate really called the Trash Pandas? The Trash Pandas, look at those uniforms. That's hilarious. Next, we're gonna take a dive into our current scouts and see which ones we wanna keep around, which ones we want to get rid of and maybe upgrade them with $39,400 remaining in our scouting budget. Starting with Tim Waller here. I don't see any reason to keep Waller. So we're going to look for a replacement, but let's see what we have here. Efficiency-wise, Wilcox here, a 91 efficiency. Pretty solid for position players with an 84. We might look into improving that. We have a 95 with the position players here, but I think we want to try to replace all of these and going to kind of take a look. Do we go all in here with an amazing scout for our position players? I want to find one that's really good with efficiency and pitching, like Alfred here. We're going to go ahead and do it right there. 11,000 left in the budget. So there's a 93 efficiency and a 92 on pitching, 91 on discovery. We could use that there. Pretty much use this scout everywhere except for with position players. Next, we want to get one that's solid with efficiency and a little, if we can find one a little bit better than that 84 on position players and around a 90 area for efficiency, and replace Wilcox and save a little bit of cash, that's what we're gonna do here. It's in the budget to bring in Torres. I'm trying to lock in the third scout here. We gotta go to the range that we can afford and see if there's anything that jumps out at us. I mean, based on the options we have, I think we're gonna stick with our current one here with an 80 discovery. See if that helps, unless we can find a really good discovery for cheaper, and we can. Here's an 88 and efficiency of 95. Patrick Johnson's going to be our third scout. We're instantly going to go over to Johnson here and try to discover some pitchers. I'm going to go international to begin with, and we'll do this for a couple weeks as our top priority. We want to discover some players that no one else knows about. Then we're going to scout position with Alfred, our pitching scouts. And we're going to start international as well with that and focus on starting pitching. Number 3 here with our position player scouting. I do want to go and try to find a pretty good center fielder. Let's start in the East to begin with here. We end up finishing the series against the Guardians with a 12-5 win. Not a huge sample size yet, but let's take a look at how things are progressing for the team so far. Leading the team with batting average right now is Mike Trout. I actually want to sort by on-base percentage here and see how things are going. Bryce here, gotten a couple starts, it looks like. He's played a couple games. He's got 2 hits. He's got 3 hits going, batting .375, just way too early. Soler looking way different than he did in spring. He's got 3 home runs already, as well as Trout, 9 RBIs. Taylor Ward with 1 home run, 8 RBIs, batting .324. Just a hot start overall for the team. I don't think it's gonna last, but so far, so good. And one of the things I do want to keep an eye on is errors, and we do have 3 so far, not terrible. Pitching-wise, it's way too early to tell, but Victor Gonzalez has started out pretty solid for us with 7 1/3 innings in relief. Kikuchi with his 2 starts has 2 wins and a 2.03 ERA, a .83 whip. Detmer's 12 innings pitched so far, got a loss in one of his games here, but ERA stands 3.75, pretty solid. Same with Soriano with a very solid ERA of 1.59. Kyle Hendricks is 2-0 as well with 12 innings pitched. Jensen with 2 saves so far, but the ERA of 9.64. How many innings has he pitched? 4 innings pitched. And he has given up already 5 earned runs. Got to keep an eye on that. Quite the beginning here. We'll get through a lot more of the calendar in episodes moving forward. With opening day, we did play that complete game and showed you a good highlight reel of it. And we'll get into a lot more action moving forward. Great start for the Angels. We got a long ways to go. You can see our ranking is 25th. That's probably about where we'll end up landing towards the end of the year. I imagine we'll be around 4th or 5th in the AL West when things all finish out. I'm SocksWayUp. Thanks for hanging out. Looking to do about 2 of these a week moving forward. Hope you hang out for the ride. We're going to get to know a lot of these players. We're going to draft a lot of new players, bring in some more prospects potentially. It should be a fun ride rebuilding the Los Angeles Angels.